I'm causing a lot of heat right now in the Murima. That's why you said the sheriff is in town. It is true.
So you're the new sheriff?
It is true.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome back once again to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. I've been listening to something. I've been listening to Kabogo, that is the Cabinet Secretary of ICT, speaking. Yesterday, he was being interviewed by Trevor Mbija at around 8 to 9, and at around 9 p.m. And you know, I've been trying to ask myself that how did William Samoei just decide to appoint someone like Kabogo to the Ministry of ICT? This guy, truth be told, Kabogo is completely clueless about ICT. He doesn't even understand what it means by AI, the new generation. He doesn't understand anything. If you ask, you know, I was trying to compare Kabogo's interview with the Rwandan lady, that is Pauline, and I was like, really? Can you listen? I wanted to listen to the Rwandan ICT cabinet minister, and then you come back and then so that we can also compare with Kabogo. Listen to her.
We have done a study to look at what would be the impact of AI in Rwanda. And what we're seeing is, and I think you talked about 0.8%, what we are seeing is even with basic use cases that we can deploy, we are seeing a potential to create at least 6% GDP contribution. And so we've been able to map out the different use cases. We talk about early warning, systems for farmers. Farmers make up the largest percentage of our population, and you see that trend similar across the continent. We're talking about public administration use cases, whether it's from taxes or the social security claims, and really being more efficient with how we're using some of these tools. And to your point, Vijay, this is definitely going to be a continuation over the already existing foundations that we've put in place in our digital transformation efforts. It also means that we're going to have to think differently on how we continue to close the gap on some of the digital aspects. So it's making sure that everyone is connected. Today we have about 93% population coverage, but we still have a gap on usage. And the usage gap is driven largely by digital skills, by access to affordable devices and affordable internet connectivity. But at the same time, we're also going to be combining those efforts with energy access. Rwanda today has 81% household access to electricity. But when we start to look at what these AI use cases that we're going to put in place, we start to anticipate what the demand is going to look like, and that has called for different ways on how we leverage that. And so for Rwanda, we're building on these foundations that are already in place, but at the same time asking ourselves the question, how do we not lag far too behind on this AI journey?
That is Paula. That is the Rwandan Minister of ICT. A 43 years old lady. Let me just call her lady. And you listen to the way she is trying to explain a lot of things, the new generation of computer, the AI, how their plan, like what she has in place, or what she's putting in place to make sure that Rwanda moves to another level in ICT. And now, let us now come back to our country, Kenya. Our own ICT minister, Kabogo. Kabogo is talking about politics, and you know, I'm trying to wonder sometimes that why is it that the president, instead of appointing people who are not politicians into these positions, he gives politicians positions. Now it is barely, in fact, it is less than 1 month. It is barely 1 month since Kabogo entered into this position, was sworn in. Now, instead of talking on how what the plans that he has Kabogo is telling us that he is the new sheriff in town, the new sheriff of Mount Kenya region. Listen to Kabogo.
I'm causing a lot of heat right now in the Murima. That's why you said the sheriff is in town. It is true.
So you're the new sheriff?
It is true.
Okay.
Yes.
You're the new sheriff
yes.
in Muleba?
When there was a gap, people occupy the gap. But when they see the gap looks like it's going to shift, there's a lot of worries. And I will tell people, I will continue speaking to them that hapa tumepotea. Hapa sio njia.
Okay.
Hii si njia. tutafute njia mwafaka.
Okay.
But so when you see the traffic, look at the traffic. Trevor, you are in this business.
Yes.
Look at the traffic of tonight. It's high.
Yes.
Yes.
You think it's because you're the...
What do you think? I go to Jeff Koinange, it is the same story.
Okay.
I go to Kameme, it is the same story. You understand? I probably should start earning on YouTube and the other platforms.
Yeah.
So really, we will always play politics because that's who we are.
Okay.
We play politics with everything. But do I have the capacity to do the job I've been given? The answer is yes, you know.
Okay.
I've done this before. I've ran a county perfectly well. No audit issues with Senate. I appeared every time they said, after we had refused to appear, and then it came out that we must, I started going. I went to Senate and I said to them, the day you have invited a governor and he doesn't show up, Kiambu is just next door. We did 3 years. This job I will do with dedication to serve my country.
Okay. So that conversation with the president sounds like it was a very short conversation.
It was less than a minute.
And he just said...
And he said he will call again, which he didn't.
So he just told he's working on something and that's it?
Yeah, that's it. And Trevor, that's the truth. That's the way it is.
Okay.
It surprises me as it surprises you.
Do you feel ready for this role then? Because if you're not prepared
more than ready. I can serve. I have served before, you know that. My track record is clear that I can serve. I'm now almost 10 or so days in the office or in this new calling, and I'm learning the ropes quickly. I know what's happening, I know what's not happening. Now it's what I want to do, because I understand what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be a leader.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be the guy who puts the resources and including human together and letting people do what it is that they should do. Of course, you saw during my vetting, I tried to tell the team, as I was walking in, someone says, Nasa Huyu, he's been given this job, even a computer he doesn't have. I attempted to answer that by saying I used a computer first in 1992. But people, because of these things that we have in Kenya, you know, people just start picking things. See, leaders go to TV stations and say, this guy now is talking about ICT like it's a computer. You see how we are.
What did you mean by that?
I was just answering a concerned Kenyan about me not having a computer. And I said I used it when it was green. You know, I don't know whether you are around then. It was, we were using MS-DOS, Microsoft disk operating system. And then that was just to cover the concerns over Kenya.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, the job is not easy. It is quite a task, but I'm up to it, because we have perfect, knowledgeable people in the ministry. I have come to realize, because I've done my rounds now in the ministry, and I've seen the sort of potential young men and women we have. So to get things done there won't be hard at all.
Okay. There's a general notion of disconnect between the government and the people of Mount Kenya. What do you mean?
There is, I didn't say exactly that, because sometimes you misquote people. I was being led by question, what is the disconnect between the people of Mulima and government? I said some of these things have nothing to do with anything. It's just politics.
So you don't think there's a disconnect?
Well, politics there, when you see people being given a message of condolence sent by the president to be read to a bereaving family, and they are not allowed to read it, that's definitely a disconnect.
And are you
that's what I said in Mukuyu. Government is elected or put in place to serve, to govern the people. So government is done by people. For example, the head of state, for example, us cabinet ministers, we have a role to play ourselves in governing. So I was telling in that Mokoyo church. And sometimes, you know, you folks, you just appear from nowhere and you want questions answered. I probably actually will tell you I never do these interviews in church. But it was the first one. I accepted to listen and answer.
Yeah.
And I said, what is happening in Mulima is unique. The issue of finance bill and abductions is a national issue. It should be everywhere in the Republic of Kenya. But what you see there is what you would call in Swahili uchochezi. Now this is what I was trying to explain to this journalist and the people who were there, that government serves through people. For example, you're saying the roads of Mau Mau roads that it cuts across counties in the central region have stalled. So the leaders from that place should be able to go and find out why these projects have stalled, isn't it? Who will they go to? Ministry of Roads, probably the MP will find out. And you probably may need to go to the president. So if these things, you're throwing stones and everything to the president, he probably will want to give you time to settle and cool down so that these programs can continue.
Yeah. Now, imagine that one now is the ICT minister. Now, before Kabogo, William Kabogo was appointed as the ICT minister, Kabogo is a politician. Of course, he's a politician. He was a governor. He was once a governor in Kiambu, and then he is also a business venture. Political affiliation, and then a controversial figure. So I don't know why. I don't know whether being a controversial figure, that is why William Ruto felt like is the best person to replace Ndungu as the ICT. I'm really trying to figure out why is it that in Kenya we can't make right decisions. Now take a look at this. Kabogo is 63 years old. How old is the Rwanda? I'm just trying to do the comparison between the Rwanda lady and Paula and Kabogo. Paula is 43 years old. Kabogo is 63 years old. All of these people are venturing into ICT. Now, whom do you think is going to do well in this field more than the other? Of course, you can't tell me that, because Kabogo is trying to tell us that he started doing computer in 1993. And of course, we know that in 1993, I don't even know whether computers were there. If they were there, but then there was no internet. So how did Kabogo learn? I think the best person, if William Ruto really wanted to do this thing, the best person that you could have maybe appointed as in this position of ICT is someone who was there, who have been there since the generation, because I'm very sure that there's some questions in ICT that even if you ask Kabogo, he cannot answer. Of AI's philosophical reflection. How can he know? The philosophical reflection of AI. Again, how is he planning to evolve? What is his plan for Kenyans to evolve with the AI in future? Like now, when the AI will be evolving, what have they put in place to make sure that that Kenya also evolve with the AI? He doesn't understand. What he knows is to tell us that he's the new sheriff in town that is going to put pressure in Mount Kenya, and that Mount Kenya have been in the wrong hands for a very long time, and that is why William Ruto appointed him, so that he can also go and make Mount Kenya understand that William Ruto is the best choice, is the best person that can work in 2027. Surely. I would like to listen to your thought at the comment section concerning this issue of Kabogo being appointed as the ICT minister, but instead of doing what he's supposed to do, is doing politics. Politics. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Professor Wino. Bye-bye.